Today, I'm going to see if a Magic player can tell if a Hearthstone card is real or not. What I've gathered today is real Hearthstone cards and custom Hearthstone cards that look like they're real Hearthstone cards. I actually spent a lot of time looking at cards to make sure they look really realistic. Overall, though, this should be actually very difficult for you because you haven't played a ton of Hearthstone.
And you made these?
I did not make these. No.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard you made these.
If I had the time to make some of these, I would have. But there's a legit, I don't know if Magic even has this. There's a site that like people post a lot of their custom cards to, and they can be sorted and such. So I scrolled through that for quite a bit to make sure I got some good cards for you.
Yeah, Magic has its little community of custom card makers.
The only one here is Battlecry, which is when the card is played that effect.
Okay. Kargas, pirate trader. Well, right away, you know, you've got the pirate stuff in the name. 5/3 Battlecry, transform all spells in your hand into coins. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so just to remind you, I don't know if you know what a coin. Do you know what a coin is? I don't know if okay.
Yeah, in Magic we call them lotus petals.
Okay, I don't know what a lotus petal is, but I will trust you on this one. I will say,
coin.
Okay, so in Rogue, which is where this card is from, Rogue really likes coins. There's a lot of cards that utilize it.
Right, and spells and minions are not the same.
No. Very important, actually. We went through this a while ago and I got ripped in the comments. If it's a spell, it is not a minion.
Yep, because in Magic, this would read just transform your whole hand into coins and then you'd have nothing to do with them.
True.
Oh, God. Okay. There's got to be so many. Like, this could be so crazy, too. And, like, it's not a terrible body at 5/3. It's not great. It's just fine. If you turn, like, 3 spells into coins and then you play, like, a 3-drop, I guess it's not busted, right? Because you only have the coins for... They're just a one-shot. Yeah, they're not, like, ramp. They're not permanent ramp. They don't add mana crystals forever. I could see this being a real card. It flavor-wise, you are telling the story of a pirate doing something in class and making good trade and trading your whatevers and making money. But there's not much of a story of piracy here. It's not like you're getting swindled. This is more of a money changer. So I see the story. It's just not quite piratey enough, which gives me pause. I'm gonna go with real.
Okay, so this one is not real. You're actually really right there.
Now, is it swindled? Cruel? That was the swindle.
There you go. I was actually the flavor of this card. Is it cruel to not give you a real card right at the start? I don't know.
Look, I can take it. It's fine. Is there a reason why you would say this can't be real? Would this be busted?
Oh, no. This would probably be underwhelming. There is, at the moment, better ways of getting coins for Rogue, and there's better ways of generating it.
Let's see. Dire Worgen, 4 for a 4/4. Rush Battlecry. Give another random friendly rush minion +2/2. So it has to be another minion that already has rush to get the buff.
Yes.
I mean, the green thing, is this Druid?
This is Hunter.
Hunter. Okay. Yeah, just once again establishing that I don't know anything about Hearthstone for the audience. Okay. It says it's an undead beast. Does Hunter have undead stuff?
I want to say yes.
It's a fake card. Fake card. No undead beasts in Hunter. Fake card. Final answer.
I want to say, before I hold on. I was more thinking whether or not if it actually has undeads. Yes, it does have a ton of undeads. Okay, yeah, okay. Beast is like kind of Hunter's thing for the record. I was just double checking for undead.
Well, I final answered. Am I wrong?
Okay, so first things first. This card's horrific. Wouldn't probably see play. Second of all, this is not a real card. Not because I guess I didn't say it out loud. I don't know if that's actually what you went for.
That counts. That counts as one.
I will count it. But this is for, I guess, the WoW experts. The only reason I know this is because someone corrected me here. Did you know Worgens aren't beasts?
I don't know what a Worgen is. I don't know what a
Worgen is.
I don't know what a WoW. I told you at BlizzCon, the last time I played a game by Blizzard was Warcraft 3, and I don't remember it. Okay,
wait, are Worgens only from the World of Warcraft's like universe?
I don't know. I don't read fantasy. I just move my paper cards back and forth. Okay, if it's not in Magic, I don't know what it is. Desert Viper. We got 2 crystals for a 1/3 beast. Poisonous. When you draw this, give a random friendly minion poisonous. I imagine poisonous is like Magic's Death Touch. If it hits a thing, the thing dies.
Yes.
When you draw this, that sounds weird. That sounds like a weird line. When you draw this, I'm trying to remember if I've ever seen a Hearthstone card with that kind of text.
Does a Magic card have any of that text?
When you draw this, that is definitely not a line in any Magic card. When you draw this, I'm trying to also think, are beast snakes in Hearthstone? Like, we have different snake-y types of creatures in Magic. None of them are beasts. The frame has 2 colors.
So this is, good point out, this is a hunter and rogue card. So there's a reason why I showed you a rogue and then a hunter card. So
is that a thing in Hearthstone? They have that?
What do you think?
No, they don't. This is fake. They do not. There is no crossing of the streams. There's none in Hearthstone. That would be too weird for new players. That's like defies like their core, I think. So no, fake card.
Okay, so this is weird because this is a fake card, but not for that reason.
God, let me have my wins.
So they actually have done, they called it multi-class cards. They did it for one expansion in a mini set, and it was actually really well received because some of the classes actually have mechanics that kind of work together. Rogue and Hunter both have poisonous in their class, so it kind of actually works out for this. This just isn't a real card because they just didn't make it. I think maybe the problem with this is like the variance on this card is actually insane because if you top deck it and you have like a 1/1 shitter, you just kill like a big minion for absolutely free and you didn't do anything. Ever just put into your deck. Probably not great game design. So they probably will never put something like this into the deck or into the game, sorry, but it is a fake card, so I'll have to give it to you.
He doesn't want to give it to me. You can feel it. Now, here's the thing. You said that could have been a real card though.
Yes.
Like all the design stuff about it. So it was really hard. So I extra smart sleuthed it is what you're actually saying. That was a very hard one.
Sure. Whatever helps you. Whatever helps
continue.
Okay, well, what about this card?
This looks so different. Pick of Destiny. That's a Tenacious D thing. Movie, album, song. 6 crystals. The gold. Is that no? Mythic is like purple, right?
That's legendary. Epic is the purple one.
Epic is purple, and Epic is the number 1. It's like the big bad.
No, legendary is. Legendary is the big bad. Yeah. Just a reminder, legendaries are, you can only put 1 copy of it into your deck.
Okay. Great flavor there. Summon 2 minions from your hand. Ooh. Your opponent summons a demon with their combined stats. What? What is Fel?
Fel is a spell school. So some spells have like a school they're from. So like Frost would be a spell school. Fel's a type of that.
And what like is the story about Fel?
Fel is generally an evil type of magic. Hopefully I don't get ripped in the comments. But the class that this is from Warrior and Demon Hunter. And Demon Hunter is a class that uses a ton of Fel spells. And they also summon demons, if you can tell.
And this is another double class card?
This is, yeah.
Which I would have said was fake a minute ago. Look at the frame on the top with the dragon thing.
It's pretty nice.
It is. It's too nice. It's too nice.
Do you think this card would see play?
No.
Oh, interesting.
No, I don't. I mean, your opponent gets a demon with their combined stats. It doesn't get their abilities, and maybe one of them is your little rush, a desert viper with rush that just kills that big thing, and you summon something huge for 6. But that is so Magical Christmas Land. I think that the puzzle of this card is good though. Like I really think it is. Also, I'm trying to remember. You had me build that one Hearthstone deck, and there was that card. It was like a rock and roll card, right? And I was like, I can't believe this is a Hearthstone card.
Black rock and roll, yeah.
Yeah, if I had never seen that card, I would think that this card was also just like some fanboy dream.
Yeah.
But this looks and feels like that card to me.
So I will say this, just so you're like, you don't have to doubt it. I specifically picked cards that you would have understood is whether or not they're in Hearthstone or not. Because you're right, I did make you build a deck for Festival of Legends, which was a music set.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to remember if that also had dual class. A question. Are there dual class cards in Festival of Legends?
Not during Festival of Legends, but this is from the mini set.
I feel like that's almost a yes. I'm gonna, you know what? You would not give me 4 fake cards in a row. This is a real card. I'm gonna say it's a real card. I think that dragon thing is too nice. Like some artist worked on that, you know? They got paid.
So the dragon is on every single legendary in the game. So that's a commonality between all of them. Do you want to change your answer based on the dragon in the top right?
No, I ride with what brought me. This is a real card. I want this to be real.
Okay, just like you, I really want this to be a real card, but it's fake. But if you have seen, like, you brought it up right at the start, Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. This card is so good for the flavor of that movie and or like album.
It is.
I actually would have really appreciated this card into the game because it does kind of fit the flavor of Warrior and Demon Hunter. It's actually really well designed, in my opinion. Maybe a little bit too good for you, but I think it's like a pretty good flavor for what the Pick of Destiny was in that movie.
Cactus Rager. This is neutral.
This is neutral. Yeah.
Yep. 5/1 poisonous for 2. That's interesting because it can trade with anything, but anything can trade with it. And it's neutral?
Do you think this card's good?
Like really fringe, right? Like very specific situations. Like, so, I don't know, somebody who's just plans to do nothing but draw cards for the first 3 turns could take 5.
Before I answer that question, do you think this card's real or not? And then I'll say
it's a lame story, you know? It's neutral. It's pure vanilla. Maybe they put it as filler in a set. Wait, it has no creature type.
It does not. I will say, just to kind of maybe give you more of a clue here, this card was printed in their new set called Showdown in the Badlands, which is a Wild West themed expansion. So this card was printed for that expansion.
But then it has, did you just tell me it's real? You just said it was printed for that.
I didn't say it was real. I said it was printed for that
expansion. Did you let that slip on purpose? Oh, are you saying
No, I actually picked my words there very carefully.
It was printed for that, but was it printed in the game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, exactly.
But it's such a, well, it's the new set. You want to push stats on some things, especially things that are almost vanilla like this. The flavor's definitely medium, but like I could see this just filling a set. It's just not a very exciting card. I'm all in my head on this because you said it was printed. And now you've given me 4 fake cards in a row. I don't know. This feels like we need one more card in the set and somebody just doesn't want to lose to decks that don't fight for the board. Let's give it a shot. This is real. Let's do it.
Okay, so
let's go. 5 power for 2. Let's go.
This is a real card.
Yes.
I will say, to answer your question previously, this card I have not seen get played once. A 2-mana 5/1 even with poisonous is just atrocious because there's way too many ways to deal with this. In Arena, which is like the drafting mode in Hearthstone, this might see play just because it's a 5/1 like you said. But yeah, this card's horrible. But this is real. This is printed for Showdown in the Badlands. All right, what about this card? Again, this is a legendary because of the dragon emblem at the top.
Sheriff Barrel Brim and 4 crystals for 4/4. Battle Cry. If you have 20 or less health, open the Badlands Jail. Open the Badlands Jail. First question, is Badlands Jail like a kind of a set mechanic that's on multiple cards?
This card, there's no other card in the set that has the text Badlands Jail. Okay, so this is the location. This is what it looks like. So a location takes a spot on the board, and in the bottom right, there's the durability of the location, which means you could use it 3 different times. And this is what the Badlands Jail does. Ignore the mana cost because this just summons it on the board because that's what the card says, but it doesn't add it to your hand. I actually don't think there's a single card in the game that bounces a location to your hand. So it's interesting that it actually has a mana cost.
Okay. This has no critter type. Is human like a type or?
Human is not a type yet.
Okay.
Locations at the moment don't have any like tribe or spell school or anything like that. It's just the location itself.
Okay. All right. So we got a weird one here because somebody either made 2 they put work into 2 cards, or this is real and they're trying to tell a story of some sheriff with an insane hat. Because why would you just show up with this hat? Actually, I'm looking at like the facial hair. Like you can't see the eyes. This looks a little bit like the character I sometimes see in your thumbnails.
Wait, what character's that?
I don't know. But he's got like a red facial hair.
Oh, is that the innkeeper? That must be. Yeah.
What are these? He's on some throne at the jail. Why do they have a throne? He's like twirling some keys.
First and foremost, do you understand what the jail does?
Yeah, I believe that you said you can use it 3 times. So I'm guessing this appears on the field, you touch it, and a minion, one of the opponents, like you get to choose, goes dormant for 3 turns. So they just don't attack or block for 3 turns.
Yeah, so dormant in Hearthstone means like the card is basically uninteractable. Like it's just there. It's going to be on the board taking up a slot, but it can't do anything for 3 turns.
That seems really good, to be honest. Like, this goes right on the field when this enters, but only if you have 20 or less health. So that part makes this card a little bit weird to play because you get 30, right?
Yes, you get 30 or 40, depending on if you put Ranithal in the deck, which I've showed you.
And there's no such thing as a sideboard. So like you'd want this against aggro, but there's like, I mean, you just go first and say you're ahead. This card does nothing until you have 20 or less. But once you have 20 or less, like the Badlands Jail sounds really good to me.
I will say, just to further clarification, locations you can use once every other turn. So there wouldn't be a situation where you use all 3 dormants at once. Like there wouldn't be 3 dormant minions on the board. But that being said, like this card would be like, you play big minion, I put it to jail for 3 turns, and then you can't use it. Because when it undormants, unless it has rush or charge, it's like you just play the minion.
My God. Okay, that's nasty. That sounds really good. Maybe too good. Oh man. So I'm looking at this a little bit more. Now I'm like looking at it for the clues, you know. We're looking for the clues. What makes this sus? There isn't a ton here that makes it sus other than power level. The story is actually really good. The other thing that sus is this hat. Like I'm guessing that this might be a returning character from Hearthstone from other expansions or something. Is this in a different expansion?
No, it is not.
Okay, somebody is like way too into this hat. So I think if somebody is that into this hat, they're getting paid. So we're going back to the getting paid. Okay, from a power level, I think this might be like way better. Like this feels like it's too good. Cards need to be good. Like this would have been in Badlands, so it would have been this here. I'm going with this card is real. This card is real.
All right, so this is a real card. Good job. Yes. This card's actually, okay, it is played. I wouldn't say it's like insane, but obviously it can be really good against the right deck. The fact that like you have to be less than 20, or you have to be at 20 or less health, does limit this card's effect a little bit, because even against aggro, like you don't really want to put a minion in jail because it's not really worth it. Like you don't want to play a 4-mana 4/4. You'd rather do something a little stronger. Now, if you're curious where they actually got this whole like art style from, you ever watched the Fairly Odd Parents before? You know what that is?
No.
Okay, so it's a cartoon show from Nickelodeon, and there's this character, which is
okay.
His name is Doug Dimmadome, and that's where they got the reference from. I won't go any further than that because then I'm gonna look like an absolute idiot. But
yes, let's please not talk about other popular shows and things I haven't watched to add to just how much I live in a bubble.
I mean, it's more just like I don't think you care that much about Doug Dimmadome.
If you care about Doug Dimmadome, let us know in the comments. Am I missing anything? Should I be watching this?
I mean, from what I remember from my childhood, it was a pretty good show for the early seasons at least. I don't know,
Rarran,
but
Rarran.
Yeah.
I don't care what you have to say about it. I'm trying to get some comment bait. I'm trying to bait your video for some comments.
Just say Doug Dimmadome looks stupid, and I think we'll get some comments.
Okay.
He's iconic from that show. He's iconic.
He looks a tad stupid. Walking Mountain. A mere 9 mana crystals for a 4/16 elemental rush lifesteal Mega Wind Fury Overload 2. What the hell?
Okay, so
Rush and lifesteal I've got. What is the Mega Wind Fury Overload 2? And is that one thing?
No, so that's 2 different things. Mega Wind Fury is you can attack 4 times in 1 turn. Because Wind Fury is 2 times, Mega Wind Fury is 4. Like it's pretty spicy. They print that very scarcely. I will put that out there. Overload 2 is a shaman mechanic, which basically is the next turn you have 2 locked mana crystals.
It's a drawback.
It is a drawback, yes.
Mega Wind Fury. as in Wind Fury lets you attack twice, and Mega Wind Fury lets you attack 4 times. Is what
it's a
class
literal
is
mountain. This is shaman.
Does shaman wipe the board often?
Yeah. Depending on the archetype you build for it, yes.
I actually look at that as like maybe you could print this into like that kind of type, because it's not like breaking the, I guess, what the class usually does too much.
Yeah.
It's a cool story. I mean, flavor wise, it's very expensive. It's we call it the toughness, the hit points. We call that the butt in Magic. I don't know if you call that the booty or the butt in Hearthstone. So it's got tremendously thick booty.
That's for reference, by the way. Like, I can't think of another minion that has 16 health.
Okay. So this would be a one of a kind in the game if it's a real card in that way. So this comes down, and at that stage in the game, I would say like 4 on the stat sheet for other minions is not, it's not that much. I feel like I see bigger minions like on the battlefield, especially around 9. So you're probably at least attacking twice. Now Rush doesn't go face, right? That's something else?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, charges lets you go face.
Okay, that's a big difference. I could actually see this being real because you play it and then you have to hit something probably twice to kill it, and then maybe you have 1, and if you're lucky 2 more hits in, but it doesn't even kill the next thing. So I'm not even sure it's good. And the fact that you freeze the mana crystals afterwards, the life is really nice though. Like, you rebuild very well with this. It's a good stabilizer, but the kind of drawback on it of overload, actually, if this is a fake card, it's pretty well done because they built just enough into it that makes it good and kind of bad. I'm going to say this is a real card. I want this card to be real. I think it would be very cool in the game.
This is a real card.
I am on fire.
You're doing very well for the record. You're 5 out of 7. For the reference, for people who don't know, before we started recording, he was like, I'm gonna do horrible at this. I believed in you.
Thank you. I just decided I was gonna go with my heart.
So I will say, in terms of like balance and stuff, this card is, I would describe it as fine. Like, it's played in a very specific type of shaman deck at the moment. There is some cheese you could do with this, which is like the following turn. There are cards that let you swap health with attack. So you can one-shot your opponent theoretically if they just leave this on the board. But if this card's played, you probably won that game.
0 mana crystals. Jade coin. What's the blue one? Rare. Gain a extra mana crystal for this and your next turn. Well, it's gain an extra mana crystal. Oh, that's sus. That is so sus right now. Would this card just be busted? This card would just be busted. This is fake. This has to be fake. There's no way this is a real card. 1, 2 busted, 2 grammar. Bam.
Okay, so this is a fake card. This one actually specifically I put in just from like the text. I don't think, I'm trying to think whether or not this card would be broken. You need extra mana crystal for this turn, because this is the coin with like, I guess, an additional mana next turn, which doesn't seem to be very strong, but I'm probably wrong about that, because 0 mana gain 2 mana seems pretty good. Yeah. Across 2 turns.
That would be MTG busted.
Okay, so yeah, you're right. But yeah, I literally put this card in because of the Grave River mistake. I was going to see whether or not you like got that, which you obviously did.
It's an important test. Like, it is. Only like unwashed heathens don't use "and" correctly, so we have to establish that we are a legitimate channel.
Let's go back to a card that actually has strong grammar.
3 for Gaslight Gatekeeper. Sorry, I'm already thinking about all my interactions on Twitter for the last year. All right, Battle Cry. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw that many cards. 3 for Undead. What's the story here? Like, you're going to just hang out at I don't know. You're just out for a walk, and you run into this person who just like asks you leading questions and makes you rethink all your life choices, and you leave with a whole new perspective. Yeah.
That actually is pretty much it. I honestly believe the flavor here is very good. And
the art is, I mean, almost girl boss. Not quite. The outfit doesn't quite scream girl boss. So you almost had the trifecta. I just don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of why would you ever play this, right? We have cards in Magic. There's a few that have been printed now that are not on a creature, but like they're on like a really good artifact or they're a spell, and they let you like discard your hand and draw that many cards, but it's always that many +1. Like, those are the only cards that I've seen play, are the ones that draw that many +1, so it replaces itself. This doesn't replace itself, and it creates an element of randomness. Like, what you would want to do with this is somehow fill your hand with trash and then turn it into good things. but the trash is still in your deck. So I don't think this is busted. I think this probably wouldn't see a ton of play except really specialized cases, which means the rarity's about right. And God, the Hearthstone sense of humor, I actually love this. I think that if somebody were doing this as a fake card, they would play up the girl boss angle more and the art would be different. So I'm gonna go with this being a real card. I think it's balanced correctly, and I think it would see like no or fringe play.
Honestly, that was really well done. This is a real card.
Yes.
So I have to point out before I even get to how good the card is that the flavor text for this card is the following. So you kind of picked up on that, which is awesome. The card itself.
This girl is such a boss. That's the flavor text.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the nose, aren't we?
The card itself, I think, sees play in a deck called Highlander, which is basically no duplicates. So you would play this card just to find like your really powerful cards in a deck that you don't have a lot of consistency in. I think that's where it's played generally.
2 crystals, camera shy performer, 3/3, stealth. Can only attack while stealth. What is a stealth?
So stealth is when it's on the board, it can't be targeted. Basically, like, you know, like it's hiding.
Okay.
And then stealth is obviously it can only attack if it's stealth, if it's in stealth currently.
How would it no longer be stealth?
So once you attack, the stealth is gone. Sorry, I should have.
Oh. Now, so once you actually hit something with it, okay, got it. And they say uncommon. The art is kind of cool, but it feels like it could come from a lot of places. It's not that it doesn't match the style, it just feels more generic to me. And is this frame like, it's neutral? Is it from the Badlands, this frame?
No, this is from Festival of Legends.
Okay, I don't know that set, so maybe the art style is more
So
appropriate
Festival
to
of
that.
Legends was the one with like the singing and stuff.
Okay. And all of Hearthstone sets go to standard, right? It's not like in
Yes.
Magic where
Well,
some go direct to old formats.
I would have said yes until this past June, where they did one straight to Wild.
All right, but what set
That's
is
like
that?
a one-off. That was a one-off. That was called Caverns of Time.
I feel like this would be actually a really fun card to build around, right? If you put it down and then instead of attacking or using it, you just find ways to keep buffing it until you can hit somebody absurdly hard. That sounds actually cool. Probably not great, but cool. I guess it depends on the buff cards. I could see this being a real card. The thing that gets me, I'm not sure about the art. I don't know if I've looked at other art from that set, but this could fit in a lot of places. And the camera shy performer. It's not that it's not Hearthstone to acknowledge cameras, but it does feel a little bit like, I don't know, are people taking pictures back then? Are people going around with cameras? I haven't seen that in Hearthstone. I could see this being real and I could go either way. I'm gonna go with fake.
Okay, so this is a fake card, which is really well done. I guess maybe the art could maybe give it away. I think that's a completely fair assessment. I will say in terms of other cards, like for Festival of Legends, they had cards like Air Guitarist that was like pretty on the money. So like the naming of this card doesn't seem really unconventional post Festival of Legends.
Okay, that seemed to have references to modern technology in a way that I wouldn't expect. Okay.
Festival of Legends, I think, was like one of the more out of the box expansions for Hearthstone. What about this card?
Fortune Fortuner? What? All right, we got 4 mana crystals and we've got a 4/4 battle cry. Both players draw 4 mana worth of cards. Fortuner. It's a 4 crystal 4/4. Both players draw 4. I get what they're putting down. I get that the number 4 is everything with this card. As far as flavor, it's a story. I'm looking at the art now. We got 4 hands. But I don't know what's that stick doesn't scream 4 to me, you know? It's only 2 there's only 2 legs. There's only 1 cape. There could be more 4s in the art. Seems like somebody phoned it in at the end. Oh god. Both players draw 4 mana worth of cards. That seems like it would be a Hearthstone card. And not very good. Obviously, giving your opponent resources with your resource isn't amazing. And of course, you could draw another one of these. No, you can't. It's legendary. Or
no, it's
not
epic.
Epic. Epic. It's epic.
You can do another one.
Oh, you can have 2? But that's, dude, 2 is not 4. It's a flavor fail. There should be 4 of them in a deck, or you can't play it. This is another one I could go either way. I'm looking at the type, and it looks like some kind of a devil or tiefling. And
It's
there's
called,
no
I think
type.
it's a goblin.
It's a goblin. Is goblin a type?
Yes. Well, not a type, but I will say like there is the very first expansion of Hearthstone was called Goblins versus Gnomes.
But it's not a type. Like it wouldn't have a little. This is what type this is down here.
There's no type for goblin.
I call BS. This card is. Do you want to give me anything else before I guess?
I was gonna say, I promise you, goblin is not a real type in Hearthstone. I promise you.
Yeah. Okay. If there's something on this that I'm missing, I'm gonna kick myself because I'm just kind of stuck. Like I could see this being a Hearthstone card. Like I really could. So I'm just both ways. I'm gonna say this is a real card.
Okay, so this one's fake. This one, again, I near the end here, I was trying to pick cards that would be like 50-50, depending on how you would go. This one's really interesting because you're right. It's not really good. Like, I don't even know where you would want to put this into, but I do think it really fits like the flavor and what Hearthstone really wants to go for. It's it kind of fits the vibe. The artwork fit like basically what Hearthstone would be. It's a goblin, which is in the universe. He has 4 arms, which I thought was hilarious. It's 444. Like this is an embodiment of Hearthstone. So I don't blame you for going 50-50 on that, but it is, it would be absolutely atrocious. This card would not see it.
Yeah, but props to the creator. Fortuner and all 4s. Somebody's just into the number 4. It's got that whimsical vibe for sure. Serenity, 4 crystals, give all enemy minions -2 attack, destroy any with 0 attack. You said spell school is what that holy is?
And holy is a spell school in the game.
And the white crystal means you can play how many?
2.
Give all enemy minions -2 attack, destroy any with 0 attack for 4. And all right. So far analysis of the card seems like a perfectly reasonable card. Like from what you've told me of Priest is that it would be my jam, which is shut down everything the opponent does and make the game no fun. And I assume they have ways to just keep minions from doing anything cool. This is a way to keep a wide board from doing anything cool. You'd almost want to not destroy the minions with 0 attack, so they just sit there on the board. So that seems like a balancing move to me, which strikes me as real. And looking at the art, who's this dude? Is this a Hearthstone known character?
So this is for Titans, and I believe for Titans he was added. Let me get his actual name. His name is Rarran. Rarran. It looks like this. Hold on.
Okay. The story wise, let's talk about this whole serenity stuff. Okay. Let's talk about meditation. All right. What they're trying to say is that if you get people to meditate, they chill out and they don't want to attack, but it literally kills them if they get too chill. And just on the basis of being buff and thick, some people can't chill. They just cannot meditate successfully. And you know what? That's a weird story. That's a weird story to tell.
Okay.
That meditation kills. Yeah, finding serenity and then dying from it doesn't seem right. There's something about that that's not right. I'm going to go fake card.
This is a real card.
Okay. I thought it was a balancing move, but it didn't. It doesn't. Do you agree? It doesn't quite vibe with story.
It's when you explain it like that. Yes, I understand what you're going for. I think what they're going for is like serenity is death. So that's why you would just die. Again, I could ask Leo and get back to you and see what they would say to this. But I think you're right. It's probably just a balancing move because they've talked about before how they either do like bottom up design or top down. This would be the case of like they probably had the flavor already figured out, but then when in testing, they're like, oh wait, that feels really bad to leave a card at 0 attack. So I think you're right.
Balancing moves usually are like a sign of design, which is a sign of real card. I should have gone with that gut.
Yeah, I thought you had it because you said it exactly. I was like, damn, like that's actually really smart.
Ooh, hello. What the?
All right. This is a legendary reminder. You can only put 1 in your deck.
Yeah. Yep. 8 crystals. Kalthas Sinstrider.
Yep.
What a freaking name. That is a boss name. 4/7. Every 3rd minion you play each turn costs 0. Art is an absolute house.
House?
Yeah, dude, gonna wreck you.
He does look really sick.
Like, come on, fight me. As far as like how the art ties into the story, there are 3 little orbs flying around.
So I will say, to give you some more context of like flavor, there is a actual WoW character called Kalthas Sunstrider. He is a very iconic character from World of Warcraft. This is just another version of him because there already was a Kalthas Sunstrider.
Sunstrider, and this is like Sin Strider.
So
like if he died.
Yeah, so this set is Castle Nathria, where there is a lot of undead printed. I'm sure someone in the comments could give you a whole historic, what actually happens in Nathria, but this is like a dead section of World of Warcraft or Warcraft.
I see. Dead, you say? Interesting. There is no line on the bottom about undead, is there?
What if he's not dead? What if he's not undead? Sorry.
What if he's not undead? Double negative. I am confused. All right. What's the story we're telling though? Every third, and we've got the 3 balls, but it doesn't really symbolize how it's free or anything like that. And it's a nod to existing IP in the universe, which is something they could do, but something a fan would definitely want to do. I don't think this card is busted. I mean, if you have 9 mana crystals and you play this and then play like a 1 thing and then cast something for free, is that really amazing? I don't know about that. Yeah, this feels like it wouldn't see a ton of play. It's a nod to something that people already like. Maybe there's something with like the 4/7 and something about the character I don't get.
I will say that is the case, for the record. That
is the case? There's something I don't get about the numbers. All right, then I'm going to say this is a piece of some fan wants this in the game and made this. So I'm going to say this is a fake card.
This is real.
No!
So I have to give you more context here to fully understand where this card came from. So Kal'thas Sunstrider was a card that was printed in 2020, I believe. It said it was a 7 mana 4/7. Every third spell you play costs 0. One of the most broken cards Hearthstone has ever introduced into the game. And then it was nerfed so that every third spell you play cost 1. This card rotated, and then for Castle Nathria, they brought this card, which was printed at 7 mana, and it was a 4/7, had the same text. The card was nerfed to 8 mana because they realized that mana cheating is kind of stupid.
Oh
and
my.
You could do some pretty well. Basically, there's a card of the game that doubles the amount of every time you play a battle cry, it doubles the effect. So you would play this, you'd play Bran, which is that card, and then you play like a 10 mana card and you just win the game. So they realized that they have to change that. So this was 8 mana. This card after that, I think I didn't see it played once. So you're right that this card became pretty trash after that. But yeah, this is real.
All right, Aline, the Illusionist. 5 crystals, 5/5, battle cry. After you play your next spell, transform all spells in your hand into exact copies of it. Oh man.
This is for mage, by the way, which is like the spell. That is the spell class.
Sure. And what set is this?
This is for, what is the name of this one? Wizards of the Trope.
Yeah, then the art is there, the story. So this hits the battlefield, and it seems like there should be something more illusion-y about the Illusionist, right? Like, it's not an illusion. All the cards are exactly now this thing. So there's got to be some sick spell that if you just make a million of and play it over and over and over, that like you win. But is that the kind of gameplay experience that designers in Hearthstone want? Because it's one of those things that's exciting the first time, and then it gets really lame. Oh man,
I would agree with that.
I could see this existing because it just feels like like this speaks to a certain type of person. In Magic, we've definitely gone down this road of like, there was this mechanic called Epic in Magic that basically said you cast this spell and you can no longer cast any other spells for the rest of the game. And at the beginning of every turn, you get to cast another copy of the spell for free.
Ooh, that's fun.
No, it's not. It's horrible because you just identify the most oppressive one and just do that.
Yeah,
and
I guess that's fair.
It's exactly what you just said. It's that moment of, oh, that's cool. And then in action, it's like, oh,
well, see, the thing
cool.
is, it only sucks when it happens to you. When you're the one doing it, that's when it's fun.
Yeah, for the first like time or two, but then like it wears off.
Winning is always fun.
It wears off most of the time. For most normal people. Some people just lock in and that's their thing. The fact that that's part of a game, that not only like that strikes me as like an unhealthy part of game. I think a lot of people feel that way, but there is a type of person who loves it, and making a card for that type of person, even though it pisses off most people, is not bad game design. Not necessarily. I think this is a real card.
All right, this is fake.
No! No!
I'm gonna be honest. When you asked me what expansion this is from, I couldn't name something off the top of my head. I don't remember what I said. Wizards of the Trope, I think I said.
Did you lie to me? Is that not a real expansion?
That's not a real expansion.
You lied to me.
So the thing is like, I don't know if you've noticed, but in every Hearthstone card, there's like an emblem behind the text of like what expansion it's from. That card right there has like a wizard's hat, and I'm pretty confident that's not an actual emblem for any card because there's no expansion that exists for it.
It certainly matched what you made up.
I know.
Correct answer. An honest person responding to that question would say it's not from an expansion. Damn it.
But if I said it's not from an expansion, you would immediately have gone, this is fake. So I had to.
That's right.
Listen, I had to lie to you.
I would have interrogated you properly and I'd win at Law and Order. That is exactly how that should have gone.
So that being said, I picked this card specifically because the effect is just, I wanted you to discuss whether or not you think this would be appropriate for Hearthstone, right? This is a very interesting card. As far as I'm concerned, they haven't really printed anything this, just like, here's a bunch of copies of spells, because you're right. It would be atrocious to play against if you just abuse the best spell in the game. But Hearthstone has had cards before that have basically done that, but arguably even less setup, because if you're going to kill your opponent with this, like, there's better ways of doing it, in my opinion. I'm glad they haven't printed it, but I could see them actually printing this card. But fortunately for me, it is fake. Unfortunately for you, it is fake.
Wizards of the Trope.
I'm sorry for lying.
Clown shoes. Clown behavior.
You should have seen my face. You should have seen my face when you asked that question. I was like, oh shit, if he actually knows about the fucking emblem in the back.
From now on, I want cams on for this interrogation. Now that I know that you're a liar, dude, I need facial cues.
That's my entire thing.
Now that I know it's all it's misdirection.
Before you ask, Zinashari is a real place in Warcraft. Not
I mean, I don't know if I can believe you. Now everything's real. It's all real. The Fires of Zinashari. 2 crystals. Replace your deck with minions that cost 5 or more. They cost 5. Oh man. Oh, this is, so I'm guessing it would be random, but they don't say like random. It's just kind of assumed. Like a magic card would say replace your deck with random creatures that cost 5 or more, they cost 5. But that's basically assumed. Like the RNG has always been built into Hearthstone. So the wording isn't a disaster. The set symbol matches the art. You can see the dude jumping or floating in the air with the spiky thing on the head.
Okay, I will just to like relax your mind on the expansion. This one is printed for Voyage into the Sunken City, which the Sunken City is Zinashari.
Sounds fake. Sounds like something you'd make up, to be honest.
I think the city is called Zinashari. I think it's the city.
Sounds like you're messing with me.
No,
I promise. Sounds like you're
real.
messing with me.
I promise. If you go look up, listen, we can discuss this after.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to doubt me, this is all on you, buddy.
Yeah,
you do
we can
Google
Google what is or isn't a lie in interrogation. All right. All right. Let's see them. Let's see. Come on. Let me look at this thing. See, that's the problem is like, okay, now we've established this is Zinashari. Does Zinashari look this way? Is this some sniped art from something else, or did somebody make this? I imagine it looks right, so that's like leaning towards a real card. But you've also sent me cards that were drawn by artists that actually did Hearthstone work, so I can't bank on that. Obviously, the story is good. There's fire. There's also fire. But how does the fires of this place turn your deck into 100% pricey minions? And why would they only cost 5? Like, how does it make everything this way? That feels weird. Also, this card, I'm not saying busted, but it's a build around, but it's almost like a similar thing to the last one where there's some randomness to it, but you also just made your experience just mono, like here's another 5 minion, here's another 5 minion, here's another 5 minion. And you can't double spell until you're actually at 10 crystals. So you're just playing one thing a turn, which isn't that, I mean, seeing what's in your deck is exciting. The actual play pattern probably not as exciting as you hope. The fact that it looks exciting, but probably isn't as good as you hope it will be, feels like design. I'll go with a real card.
Wow, this is a real card.
Yes.
And honestly, that last line really speaks to the embodiment of this card. In theory, like you look at it and go, wow, this could be really good, right? But there's actually a lot of shit that's 5 or more.
Yeah.
So this ends up being pretty bad. Not to say it's horrible. Like there's worse cards that do this similar effect. But yeah, this is a real card.
Okay. 10 crystals. Mortal Combat. Gain +10 attack and attack all enemy minions. If your hero survive, fully heal it. If your hero survive, fully heal it. You know, it would be so you. It would be so you to give me a card earlier that had a grammar error, have me catch it, have it be fake, have me feel good about it, and then to find a notable grammar error in the game and then give it to me as the last card as a real card.
No, come on, I wouldn't do that.
That would be so you. You would.
No, come on, I wouldn't do that.
So I'm going to try to move away from if your hero survive. And I'm going to try to evaluate the card. So I see a little star. What set is that from?
It's Showdown in the Badlands.
I bet it is. I'm going back. I'm going back and I'm checking the very first, like the card you gave me before.
You can. Go for it. That's Showdown in the Badlands.
It's not scrolling correctly. Freaking Discord. It's setting me up.
You got it. Go look at Sheriff Barrel Brim.
Yep, I did. Okay. Checks out.
Okay.
Checks out. Not lying this time. Showdown in the Badlands. So that's a pretty cool ogre. That's a pretty cool Hydra dog. Why would those be in a desert? No idea. This is Hearthstone. Who knows? Something about the S in verses seems wrong. And I don't know what these rune letters are underneath on this banner. And I'm not saying they wouldn't make.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying they wouldn't make a card Mortal Kombat. You know what I mean? I'm not saying they wouldn't do that. But would they do it with if your hero survive? And would they do it with weird rune letters? But God, the only reason I would call this real is because you're a scoundrel. You're an absolute trickster. But I'm going to go with fake because I have faith in the integrity of the spell checkers at Blizzard.
You're correct. It's not a real card.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, now let's just say that if it said your hero survives. Okay?
Yeah.
Would this card see play?
So how many can you have?
Minions?
2? No.
Legendaries? One. Yeah, this is one. This is one.
So it would be one.
I'll explain this a little bit more because there's like a mechanic that may have not been obvious. You gain 10 attack, you attack all enemy minions, but you still can deal that 10 attack to your opponent's face.
Oh, so this is not part of your combat, so to speak?
No, this isn't like, yeah, exactly. So it doesn't actually take your action of attacking. Like it just, because it's a part of the spell, it's a part of the spell is attacking basically for you.
Oh, so in Magic, this would be like a fight, and then you go to combat and attack. So this is like 10 mana. I have a board, you have a board, but I win the game. Not only on top of that, you fully heal for whatever reason. Yeah, there might be a class where it's too good. I'm not super, like, it feels like I see plenty of times where people untap with like some crap on board. Like it's not like but it feels like Hearthstone, a lot of Hearthstone is like making sure that you have stuff on board and they don't every time you pass. So maybe this is unplayable, but God, if there's a way to like cheat it or reduce it in any way and just have a board and a box of like little like O1s. I don't know, man. I think that I think people would build with it. It's exciting, but it is kind of poorly designed in that if you do that effect, you're going to win the game. Why would you need to fully heal? I know it's the flavor, but it's just too much, right?
So I think this card would be bad, but this is in Warrior, which Warrior does have the ability to gain armor, which is like extra hit points that are not actually your life. So you could actually build enough armor, play this card, full clear board, hit your opponent in the face for 10, and then fully heal after. And I think that kind of fits into the Warrior theme. I'm not saying this is like a mismatch for flavor whatsoever. I just think the card's too weak.
Okay.
I'd rather do literally anything else to potentially win the game.
Yeah, in Magic, in like a 4-player format, this would be an excellent quote commander card in Magic, and it would be very bad in every other format.
You did actually really well, dude. 10 out of 16. That's above a 50%. That's really what is that? 55, somewhere around there. That's great. You thought you were gonna do horrific.
I did.
And you ended up doing good. I'm gonna hold that Wizards of the Trope expansion thing on you for quite a while because I think it's very funny.
It's from now on. When I do start playing Hearthstone, when I open these sweet packs, and people ask me what my favorite set is, it's always the answer is default Wizards of the Trope for life.